our 78th meeting. And the last time we were here together, I hadn't sent the notes yet, but we talked about PR404, talking about or might have been 402, talking about the throwing out that underlay routing functionality here in this information here. And so we all talked about that and left some comments in the PR and left it open for people to talk about. And then we also closed a couple of PRs and we welcomed Kumaresh and some different people. And then over here, this is the board that we've been working on. And we changed a couple, we changed a couple of these items to closed. So these ones here marked as done. So Marian had fixed this BMV2 pipeline source code change, and then we had a couple of more items here that were done. And then we have these items that are still to do. This one's the oldest one, number 289, and this one came from Prince, this generate SI for ACL Tags. He generated that one for us to work on in the future. He's not here right now. I believe he's out of office. And let me see who else we have on the call.
So we have like a side changes, Christina.
What's that?
There is a PR raised in side community for ACL Tags.
Awesome. Do you happen to know the number?
Yeah, I'll send that to you.
Okay, great. Thank you. And then I can pop it in here. That's awesome. Thanks for letting me know. And then we did open like an actual issue for this P4 DPDK on the horizon because we talked about it last week. And I think Reshma said she would follow up on it. So we have that. And the rest of those are done. But I was curious, I ended up joining the P4 call this week, and so was curious if Andy had anything interesting to tell us from there. Was there anything outstanding, Andy?
The architecture work group Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, we continue to I'll just say we continue to emphasize minutia across vendors and their P4 implementations on how to do things like checksums and other stuff. So
yeah.
Looking for common ways that we can agree on. So
yeah, it was really interesting.
Okay, well then you're our kind of person.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I say that in the most beneficent way possible.
Yeah. I think if I were a developer, it would make even more sense. So yeah, so that was a good call. And
nothing dash specific in there in that meeting that I recall. Yeah.
No, I didn't hear anything dash specific, but it was a really good call. So yeah, and then this week, I guess I'll put it out there. Did anyone want to bring up specific PRs or issues they wanted to talk about this week?
Yes. So Mircea, the performance numbers, I think, and scale numbers, I think they can be merged. The CI is passing and everything.
Okay. So 403?
Yeah, for something. I don't know exactly the last number.
Yeah. The one where we're correcting the seconds and the numbers and things like that, and the ones where I did the review too?
Yes.
Okay. So you think this one's ready for a merge?
Yeah, CI is passing everything. It's okay. It was just a spell check.
Okay. If I could type, okay. Okay, done.
And then the route, the static route, we made also a few tweaks to it as well. And that is also to be merged as is. So we had a look, and the PR was still going to address route and as part of route next hop ID. And we capture all the feedback with ECMP route. But for ECMP route, a totally new group of APIs for next hop ID as well as next hop ID group will have to be implemented as part of a subsequent PR. So current PR just addresses route next hop ID APIs. And for the whole ECMP will have to be a separate PR. So as of now, we are adding the behavior for route, and the behavior for hairpinning, we are leaving it unchanged from the current implementation till the CMP gets implemented, yeah, in a different PR.
Yeah, I see that right here. And then
So we will have some kind of like a valid next hop ID.
Yeah. So the port, we implement port ID could be used as next hop ID. In the current implementation, of course, future implementation can have support for interfaces and other things, but to have support for interfaces first, an interface needs to be added in BMV2 and so on. So each extra APIs that we add have to be their own PR and add additional functionality.
So in that case, like the port has to be populated with the ingress port for the hairpin mode. Is that the case?
No, so if you want a route, you add a route. If you don't add a route, it's today's behavior with, anyway, today is hairpinning no matter what.
Okay, okay.
so does that answer these two questions here? We were asking if we could have some sort of global capacity to bypass underlay routing feature, and if you do nothing with the next step. Or Chris did answer this. Okay.
Yeah, just a while ago.
Okay. All right. So does that work for you, Kumresh?
Yeah, I think we should be okay.
Okay. Okay. So go ahead and merge this, Marsha.
Yes, please.
There will be additional PRs for what did you say? Next top group.
Yes, and the CMP, and I looked at those APIs. They're already specified in SWSS Lite, and it has their ECMP type, and that will address, I would believe, the questions which were asked in the last meeting.
Okay. Or next hop. Oh. Something like that. Does that look good, Marsha?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Something is wrong with my mouse. Okay. There we go. Okay, great. Thanks, Marsha. Look at us getting work done. Okay. And thanks, Kumaresh, for those comments. That's great. Anyone else have something they want to talk about here?
I'd like to make a comment. If you look in issues,
Okay.
this is just a general comment to keep people informed if they've been paying attention. But fellow named Kamil Kudnik, right? He's a Microsoft
Employee.
very active in SI. I think he's a maintainer in SI. It looks like he's going through and doing a big scrubbing operation on the Dash SI implementation, which is a good thing because he's trying to make it compatible to compile it into syncd for possibly a virtual switch. This is kind of an effort we talked about probably a year and a half or 2 years ago. Could this ever be done? So it looks like he's trying to align it with say standard SI implementations. So it's going to require a bit of work on various people's part. He's doing most of it, but he's going to be submitting issues and pull requests to align libsci and get it out of its little sandbox which it's in and make it a little more conformant. So it's going to make more work, but I think it's a good thing. And I'm trying to respond, but he's really cranking on it.
Okay.
And can keep a number of us busy responding.
Okay. So FYI, just take a look at the issues. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think
I just want to take a quick look at one of these while we're on the call here.
Yeah, this one's a hard one. I don't know how to answer it, but he's got some other ones which are a little easier.
Wow. Okay.
Amal is not regenerating the SI APIs from the BMV2, is he?
Could you repeat that, Reshma?
The previous time when we had generated SI APIs, right? Dash APIs from the BMV2.
Yes.
And we had found some changes and all those things were fixed. We are not regenerating at this time, or is Kamil regenerating?
I think he's trying to take the regenerated SI headers
Right,
from
right.
latest commit and manually copy them into the SI repo dash version to bring it up. So that's just one of the things he's working on. And it looks like Zgon is interfacing them on that. Although Intel might want to keep an eye on what's going on too, because you guys and NVIDIA have been the most active in curating this aspect. I won't have much to say on that, but when it comes to things like the implementation of the BMV2 libSci, I'm trying to assist where I can.
Yeah, so it looks like you asked Marian to help out a bit on this. So, and is Marian on the call? And Reshma. Okay, great. Okay, yeah, I see what he's doing here.
Yeah, Camille might want, he might merit collaborator access to Dash so he can ask for reviewers. He hasn't been able to do that yet. I think he reached out to Gohan and said, could you add me? But I think it'd be easier if you just did it. He's going to be very active and he's, going to help.
Sorry, I got a quick. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. You say something like it's a copy to. Is it somewhat officializing the generated experimental headers to push them up?
Well, I think he's pushing them up into the Dash branch of Psi, which is still like a staging ground, and that's been done periodically, right? It's just by. There's no official process. Like usually it's Marian or Reshma guide that.
Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna go back to an issue that we have, which I think is related to the ACL rule definition, which is incorrect out of the box, in my opinion, when BMV2 is compiled, because it doesn't use prefixes in the ACL rules, and it should. It's an old issue, but I don't think we ever fixed it. Like the ACL rule should be a list of prefixes, and right now it's just IP. So if we don't address that, or either that or we scrub and make sure everything is fine. But to be honest, right now, the ACL stuff, I don't think is proper.
Sorry, I'm going back to, was it an issue or a PR, Vincent?
I thought I opened an issue on that, but I don't remember anymore.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and I just need to correct myself. It looks like this.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, the 360.
IPR, it's actually merging into Open Compute Master. So if I was wrong about it being Dash, he's going from the Dash branch into Master. I think that's a Psi maintainer kind of decision, which I don't have a lot to say about, but it makes your comment more timely.
Yeah, I'm not questioning the process. It's fine. I'm just questioning I'm just going back to this ACL issue, which hasn't been fixed. So if we're propagating something up to mainstream, better be correct.
Yeah, you might want to inject that conversation into that PR so that you get his attention. Maybe it'll put the brakes on if you think that's the case.
Okay, well, I'll look at it. Thanks.
I don't disagree with you. I don't have a strong opinion on that, but it does seem like it needs to be addressed. And I don't recall if the reason it's not addressed is because there's a technical disagreement or it's just work someone has to do to correct it. I would think if the definition is wrong, folks like Prince would be very interested in that.
Right. And along the same line, I think there are changes that Prince is going to propose for the new ACL tag stuff. So ACL tag is going to move still a little bit. The ACL tag rule, the ACL rule hasn't changed, and we definitely need to revise that. So I'll add that to the PR.
So if I mention you, you'll get an email?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So Vincent, like I have posted the ACL tag PR in the chat. You can check that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And was someone also gonna post the, was it the, oops, I messed it up. It was the issues. It was the SI for ACL tags. Someone was gonna post that for me over in the other repo. Was that Kumresh? Or I can go look for it too.
Oh, sorry, I was on mute. So I
okay.
posted the ACL tag PR in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Ah, there it is. Okay. Right. Thank you. So I'll make sure and add that. Okay. So back to what we were talking about. Thanks, Vincent, for that. That's awesome. So basically it looks like Camille's doing this work, and I messaged him while we were just talking now, and I let him know that I added him to the repo, so it would be easier for him to work with us.
Excellent.
Yeah. And then he says, look good to me.
No, it's good to get someone who's really active in Sci working on Dash like this, because it's going to align things better. It's another good high power resource to help us out.
Yeah. I hope, and at some point when he's finished with these issues, he'll let us know so we can close them. So
that bottom comment down there, I'm sorry, that bottom comment that you just scroll by, that sort of shows his goal. It's kind of interesting.
To make libsci data, so are we could be linked inside SYNC Docker and SONiC. We plan to merge with virtual switch, very long-term goal. Okay. Oh, all right.
This is something we kind of fantasized about 2 years ago, because it's a big job, but it looks like we've got people.
Awesome.
Thinking,
okay. All right. Cool.
So another goal actually associated with that, Chris, would be to run test cases. Like since we're using the side challenger can either interface with the Sci3 server, which is the current model, or the SYNC, which I've played with and that works well. So maybe another goal is to get the SYNC integration tested with the side challenger and some test cases.
Yeah, I mean that I would have that in mind. I don't know how many people in the Microsoft SONiC community are warming up to Side Challenger yet, but I think this may give it some more impetus.
Yeah, that test is closer to what SONiC deploys, right? It's SYNC based, so. Yeah,
and that's it's raison d'être, so to speak, to badly pronounce French
raison d'être.
I shouldn't say that in front of a French-speaking person.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And it looks like one of these. Okay, so FYI to us, these are being worked on. Okay. Thanks, Chris. That's awesome. Was there anyone else who had something to bring up today? Okay. And then just want to see if there's anyone new or different on the call. I don't think I know Muhammad. So Muhammad Naveed. So Muhammad, hi, I'm Christina. I'm over at Microsoft running Dash Call. So we just say hi to the new people. So
yeah, hi Christina.
Nice,
nice meeting you. I'm Naveed. I go by Naveed from Arista Networks. We met at the DPU conference this year. Yeah.
Okay, nice to see you. Nice to see you. So this is kind of the cadence of what we do. We get together, we socialize, we talk about PRs, issues, forward movement in the repo. And in the repo here, Naveed is, or Mohammed, we actually have different sections with documentation, and probably what's more interesting to the developers is the pipeline area, and that's where the BMV2 and the SI pieces are. So just FYI, but there's a lot of documentation. So if you ever have questions, reach out to me because I can tell you basically where the meat of the information is, but it's usually in the general folder under the -SONiC HLD. But we've also written higher level designs, like what are we doing and why are we doing it? That's the high level design here, and it describes a lot more things. And then we have this one's more authored by me and Prince and whoever's helping. And these are the older documents that are actually still pretty useful, with a lot of pictures and things like that, with packet transformations and pipelines and ENIs and VNIs and encapsulation and examples and things like that. So that's what that is. So, okay. Thanks.
right.
Thanks for coming on camera. Okay. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else have anything today?
I wanted to ask Reshma if she's heard anything on issue 395. It was the meta out of libsci question. Yuri had contacted me a week ago, and I gave him a synopsis of the issue at hand, and I haven't heard any effort on that.
Did he send any review or not yet?
Well,
if now, then we'll take a look.
So far, I just provided him like a synopsis.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was wondering if there's any progress, something we're still going to work on. I'm just going to review it with the team. Oh, we'll see.
We'll go through it and send you any offline questions or comments today.
Okay. Yeah, there's no urgency. I'm kind of trying to help people who have like vendor interest. It works fine in the Dash repo as is, but I can see how this is a worthwhile thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Camille stumbles into it too. He's trying to integrate with syncd, but I'm not sure.
Okay. We'll just pop that in the chat window. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording then, unless someone else has anything. And
You're going to merge that one that Merchant brought up.
I already did it, I think, in the call.
Oh, I saw it.
While we were sitting there talking.
See.
I believe I did, Chris. Ping it to me and I'll make sure I did, but I think I did.
We'll see.
Okay, and I'll
No,
stop.
I don't think you actually pressed confirm. I saw you press the button.
Okay, I'll go back.
But
I'll go back and look.
It's still open.
Okie doke. All right.
404.
Okay, 404.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So guys, I'll go ahead and stop recording, and I will press the button here. And I hope you have a good day.
Thank you.
All right, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.